Shampoo is something that people ask a lot of questions about, and of course all of us are using shampoos to cleanse our hair, and those with dandruff need to use anti-dandruff shampoos. So I think that's the absolute basic and we all know about it. In this conversation, in this lesson module, I am going to be telling you how to choose and how to use the right anti-dandruff shampoo, because yes, choosing is important, but the way of using it is equally important. When you get both these things right, you will get incredible control in your dandruff and you will effortlessly be able to keep your dandruff under control. So the common anti-dandruff shampoo actives are ketoconazole, selenium sulfide, ZPTO, Climbazole, coal tar. So these are generally the basic anti-dandruff shampoo ingredients, and you need not remember these names, but I just thought that it's important for you to at least get familiar with these names. So the common mistakes which people do is when one ketoconazole shampoo doesn't work for them, then they go and pick up another ketoconazole shampoo because a friend recommended. But if the active molecule ketoconazole is not able to control your dandruff, then another brand of ketoconazole is very likely not to be able to control your dandruff too. So that's like a common sense understanding. But of course, many times we have also seen that when we change the quality of the ketoconazole, or when we change the micron size of the ketoconazole, the same molecule which did not act before could act later too. So just both the perspectives need to be understood by you. So when it comes to medicine, there is a lot of deep understanding. There is a lot of it's not just about match the following kind of a thing. There are multiple parameters that you need to understand, but just to keep it very simple and not to keep it too long or too confusing, we need to understand that if one ingredient is not working for us, it's a good idea to change to another ingredient and then see if that works for you, because most probably another ingredient may be right for you. So ketoconazole, selenium sulfide and ZPTO are the older molecules, out of which I think selenium sulfide is much older. Ketoconazole and ZPTO are very commonly used. ZPTO is a zinc based molecule and Climbazole is a newer molecule. So like ketoconazole, Climbazole, so these are similar molecules, but it's a new research molecule. So in medicine there is also a concept of something called as acclimatization. That is when a molecule is used by the masses for a long period of time. Generally people get resistant to the molecule. You would have heard something like that by saying that अब वो पुराने मलेरिया के medicines काम ही नहीं करते because वो use and overuse हो गया है. Similarly, anti-dandruff shampoos have been used and abused, and the older molecules sometimes don't work. So newer molecules like Climbazole work. Coal tar is quite effective. In fact, coal tar is very effective. It is even effective in scalp psoriasis and seborrheic dermatitis. But coal tar is a very harsh product. In fact, the older versions of coal tar used to leave the hair terribly dry. Coal tar also used to have like a very uncomfortable smell to it, but now with a lot of research there are better versions of coal tar available which are not so drying or which are not so smelly. But personally I do not use coal tar at all. I am able to get results with ketoconazole, ZPTO and Climbazole in all my clients because I have gone through so many qualities of these molecules. So understanding the quality is also as important as just going for a more expensive product or a more latest product. Sometimes an older product also works perfectly fine if the quality of the product is good and the way of using the product is good. And this whole masterclass we are always talking about if the lifestyle is right, because I think looking beautiful is about a mindset, staying healthy is about a mindset. Knowledge is so easily available. Everybody has so much knowledge. In fact, 80% of what I'm sharing in the masterclass you already know it. I think most of you are just getting 20% something new, because most of the things I need to start from the base and you would have already heard heard it, then how do I want you to get massive results from the masterclass? It is because we are going on a journey together, and this journey will tell us to inculcate new beliefs, new habits, new ways of doing things, and to stop doing certain things which are ineffective. And this new approach to wellness and beauty, this new approach which says I am awesome inside out, is what gives you the result. So a lot of people are spending a lot of money on wellness and beauty and still not getting the results, because somewhere it is also about the mindset, the understanding. And like I said in the last video, that always measure progress, do not measure perfection, because if you start measuring perfection, you will start saying too soon that nothing works for me and you will give up. So now we come back to the anti-dandruff shampoo, and we need to talk about the quality of the base. So there is a base and there is an active. So we spoke about the ketoconazole and the clombazole. So these are the actives. These are the medicated molecules that are in the product, but also the base has to be good. If the base doesn't balance your oiliness and your moisture levels, then the anti-dandruff shampoo might continue to keep your scalp irritated, and because of which you may not get very good results. Again, it's the quality of the active. So not all ketoconazole molecules are the same. Molecules are sourced from different places, they are processed in different ways, they are stored in different ways, their size is different. So a lot of factors will depend on how effective the molecule is. Similar to like we talk about the ingredients in the kitchen, so not all dhania powder are the same, for the lack of giving a better example. I think you get it very clearly that every brand may differ from each other. It depends on the source, it depends on the way it is stored, processed, ground, and so much more. So the quality of the active, very important. Also the size of the active. We need micronized active. The smaller the size of the particle, the better the results. So what I have got results from, like I was telling you, I do not go for very high-end molecules. Even the basic molecules give me result, because rather than jumping into a high-end molecule, I look for the quality of the base, the quality of the active, and the size of the active. Now coming to how to use an anti-dandruff shampoo. So if you have severe dandruff, then it's a good idea to use it 3 times a week, because we might be dealing with a fungal infection like we said in chapter 1. So we need to get rid of the fungal infection, and to get rid of the fungal infection, the more the contact, you will get results better. In fact, with very severe and very resistant cases, especially in guys or with girls who do not have very long or thick hair, I have even spoken to them and made them wash their hair every single day for 10 to 14 days till that infection is totally goes away. So I would want you to use an anti-dandruff shampoo 3 times a week if possible, and this needs to be used for the first 21 days probably, in which you will see a significant control in both the dandruff, the itching, and the oiliness of the scalp. Then we can gradually taper it to twice a week, and then once a week, and then once in 15 days. Of course, I will not be able to write a regime and give you that this is the way you should go about it. What you need to do is, it's always about reviewing. So as we go ahead, we'll have a chapter on review, which is so important. We have to get in tune with asking ourselves certain questions, setting some beauty goals, and asking, is it working for us? So the more you review it, the more you will understand that how you will have to taper it. And if you taper it properly, then you will be able to eliminate dandruff to a very large extent. Some people have managed to not use that anti-dandruff shampoo again at all, and some other people have to use it just once in 15 days or once a month, and I think that's totally okay, right? And one more thing is, keep that contact time. So we spoke about the actives. The actives are something like a medicine. So then if you are using actives on the scalp, of course there has to be a contact time. Unless if you wash it off in like 20 seconds or 30 seconds, how will the actives even get time to act? So you need to keep it for 3 to 5 minutes. So we say, please apply the anti-dandruff shampoo and then brush your teeth, probably use a face scrub, use a body scrub, take a body bath. Make sure that you spend some time, that product being on your scalp, and then if possible, rinse it with tap water, not with very hot water, because again we are trying to control the irritation of the scalp, trying to control the inflammation of the scalp, trying to make the oil glands less active. And if you're going to use very hot water, then again the irritation, inflammation and the oil glands hyperactivity begins. So I request you to wash with tap water if possible. If for any reason you feel tap water is too cold, then please keep it lukewarm water, or just make sure that the last rinse is tap water. Now coming to it, between washes, once you stop using an anti-dandruff shampoo and move to your regular shampoo, we need to make sure that the oil moisture balance of the scalp is maintained. If you're going to disrupt the oil moisture balance of the scalp, your dandruff will reoccur again. It's a disorder, not a disease. So make sure you're using only a non-sulfated shampoo between washes. There are some times that steroid based shampoos are used, and steroid based shampoos give instant results. When people come to us with extremely bleeding scalps, very hassled, in fact there are so many balls on the scalps that they start seeing nodes in the neck, and they're very upset about the whole thing and they want quick results. Steroid based shampoos give excellent results, especially because steroids can control the irritation, inflammation, seborrheic dermatitis, psoriasis and even very irritating dandruff responds very well to steroid based shampoos. But steroid based shampoos are suppressants. They do not solve the problem, they just keep the problem under control. They put a lid on the problem. Of course, steroids are not bad. They are life-saving products used globally. So do not be very scared of steroids. Wherever steroids have a role, nothing is going to work except that steroid. So we respect steroids, but at the same time, we do not abuse it. We do not use it indiscriminately. So steroid-based shampoos can be used only for an acute phase. By acute phase, I mean when there is a extreme case and we want to get it into control as soon as possible. It has to be used only under medical supervision. Why am I telling you this? Because if somebody is recommending you a shampoo and saying that this is magical and you use it and you really feel it is magical, I just want you to look at the active in the shampoo. Once you really go through this course with me and spend some extra time trying to go through the layers, you will start reading the ingredients of the products, and that's a very good idea, because the more you know, the more you will be able to make the right choices. And today with Google, it's not so difficult. So just make sure that the product does not contain a steroid. If it is not recommended by a doctor, or even if a doctor has recommended it, you can ask if it contains steroid, and if it contains steroid, it is absolutely not okay to use it indiscriminately and for long term. Yes, for short term use under supervision, it's perfectly okay to use a steroid shampoo. Now I want to ask you the question, is your current shampoo working for you? So by saying, is it working for you, the question I'm really asking you is, are you able to get better and better results? Are you able to use it less and less? And are you able to feel hassle free that yes, I am kind of dependent on a product maybe once a week or once in 15 days, but beyond that, dandruff doesn't irritate me. I am not having hair fall due to dandruff. Can you say that?